Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. All women are pick-me's. Yeah, I anticipate the thumbs down. For the ladies, before you start seeing red and trying to think about ways to hack into my accounts and you're not going to do it, or try to find something physically wrong with me or whatever, listen to what I'm saying, right? And fellas, listen to what I'm saying too, because you get a lot of guys. This was kind of inspired by that. I was checking out, I think, a Madame Noir or something. You had a bunch of guys talking against pygmies, and I thought that was interesting. But you know how they do on that site, right? And I was thinking about it. All women are pygmies. Every single woman is a pygmy. The only difference is who they are pygmy for and what they'll do to get that man. Now, we know about the obvious pick-me's who, no matter what, they're going to go defend a man and all of that. And, they're going to try to do stuff for the man to say, pick me, right? Okay, we know about those. Those are the ones usually picked with. And then you get the other women who try to say, hey, don't do that for a man, don't do that. Look, those same women want men, though. Those same women, and they just as much a pick-me, just in a different way. I'm going to tell you why I say that. Every single woman got some guy she will compromise. Everything she say publicly, like I won't cook for a man, I won't do this and that. Every single one got a man, at least one man they encountered in their life, or if they did encounter, that they would change their stuff up. Every single one. I challenge a woman to tell me they'll never do it for a man because I'm going to say you haven't met him yet, if they telling the truth. But I've seen that. I've seen so-called tough, independent women be pussycats or do everything for the man. They won't do it for other men, right? And see, this is how I know it. If you think about what I talk about, select and non-select men. Select and non-select men. One difference that differentiates the two is that a woman, she's not going to be a pick-me for a non-select man. If the woman look at a man and considers him her non-select, she ain't going to be a pick-me for him. She ain't going to do anything for him. But if he select, oh no, she changes up. That's why you get some women, they can talk all that smack and everything, but then all of a sudden you see them talking about yes dear and no dear and whatever, and they taking cooking lessons and everything, and they going out their way for it. Every woman gets pressed about that. Understand? Like I said, it ain't gonna be every single man, in all fairness. Even gold diggers, or even some of these women on YouTube talking about leveling up. Who they leveling up for? If you change in your physical appearance, if you trying to change your style and everything, you might not be saying it out. You might not be saying pick me out loud, but you still want that type of guy. So even if it's a guy with money and status and everything, if you putting yourself in this position, what are you saying? Even if you ain't saying a word, what you saying? You gonna go to where that man is at, and not say ain't gonna give the solid message of pick me. No, if you a woman and you trying to get that high post man, that masters of the universe, you ain't gonna go in. You are not gonna go in any space that he's in, or could be, and then act like you too proud. You ain't gonna talk to him, or you ain't gonna defer to him, because that defeats the purpose of you even doing it. Because trust me, you might not do it, but every other woman in that same place doing it. So you gonna compete if that's what you want. Now, if you're one of those women who say, I ain't going to do that for men, I ain't going to do it, why you fixing up then? You ain't fixing up for other women. And let's be honest, you want that guy or some guy, right? And, and of course, this sounds like it could be on a woman's channel, but this is a message for the men. Don't get caught up in that. Now, if you meet a woman and she don't want to do this and that, you know what that woman's telling you? That woman's just telling you you're not her select. This is what you do, fellas. You walk along. You'd be like, oh, okay. If she starts off like, I ain't gonna do this for you and all that, bye. Okay. And I don't know why women do that sometimes women will do that with some guys who they actually want. Like, that's impressing them. And I'm like, no, it's not impressing me. I ain't gonna chase you. You just told me. I've actually had that before. I've actually had some women try to say what they wouldn't do for me, and then when I just leave them alone, they say, how come you're not chasing me? You just told me not to. You just told me you're not interested. I'm not going to waste my time with you. All right? But yeah, and it's funny how women try to say, well, I ain't doing it. And they think they're impressing men, and like I said, you got men out here. We already know the game. We already know that you're full of shit. All right, and you trying to talk about this other. And I've actually seen that. I've actually seen that type of woman that would go in on the so-called pick-me's, and then there's that other, and then in the next breath, and you can, if you check out some of these videos, you can even see that. Next breath, they praising another man, talking about they want to get with him and everything. But I was like, please. Now you know if that guy, you meet that guy who got everything you want, check off all the stuff on your list. And ladies, we know about you in those lists. That dude checking off all the stuff on your list, right? You know, right? You know you gonna be doing whatever. And like I said, you ain't gonna say it publicly. Look, you might not want to cook for him or do all that, praise him publicly. But if you putting yourself in the path and you want it, you're gonna have to. You saying you want this dude, you chose that man, especially you want him to pick you. Think about it. Now, the only women who could truly say they aren't pick-me's are like women who are abstinent about not dealing with a man, like lesbians or something. And even some of them, there's a lot of stories out there. That's almost a video. I forgot a lot of stories from some men about some lesbian messing with them. I get a lot of stories, like blatant lesbian too. Like checking them out or something. So even they can be pick-me's. They depending on the man though. They not, and like I say, this is more for the fellas. Just understand that. Don't get caught up in that. Don't get too caught up in a woman's rhetoric. Pay attention to her actions, and then always remember she's basically telling you, nah. If a woman telling you what she won't do for you, or she ain't trying to seduce you, you just simply walk away. You don't get mad at her. You don't try to shame her into wanting you. You just be like, all right, sis, we good. We good. If that's how you want to play it, yeah, we good, right? So, yeah. Man. You know what? I got to go off on a tangent on this, right? I got to go off on a tangent because, like I said, this was inspired by this video. I don't even know if I can find a link for it. I don't know if I'll feel like looking for it. Maybe somebody, but a bunch of guys talking about the whole pick-me thing and what they saying and all of that. Part of the issue out here is too many. It's one thing for women to do what they do, but some guys, and maybe I need to do a separate video, but I'm just going to put it here, right? Sometimes some men saying all this public stuff, they so busy doing that, they don't realize the women don't respect them because they're not standing on their square. The women don't respect that. You telling a woman what she want to hear instead of what she needs to hear, all right? Like me, I don't have a problem, man. I'm cool with plenty of women, but they also know I'm gonna tell them what they need to hear, all right? And a bunch of guys, y'all stopping there, y'all making this things worse. Because trust me, it comes back to bite you. It comes back because I've never failed to see it. The same guys who just going to just co-sign everything without thinking about what they saying just to look good to the women. They always come a point where they come back around and they the hardest against women. They the hardest when they realize all that simping didn't work. Because that's all they doing it for. This whole white knight thing, that's all they doing it for. So I just wanted to get that part out there. But remember, and y'all know, ladies, the men listening understand they all pick-me's. If they ain't trying to get you to pick them, they just don't want you, walk away. For the ladies, don't get mad. I'm here to trigger people. I'm here just because I always say this whole relationship thing, we're going in circles. So I'm the one who's going to just say what needs to be said. All right? So anyway, yeah, that's it. Brother hungry. I gotta go make me a hamburger. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Peace and blessings.